Central everything Southwest Florida and beyond, and we're having a great day today. We got the lovely Shannon, lovely Shannon Livingston here, and I've got a black shirt on.
You look really good.
Yeah.
It's very slimming.
It is. You know, I've been like laying off the carbs.
You were lying on the floor.
Yeah, well, I'm doing that too because my back is jacked. But no, I'm laying off the carbs. So I'm trying to see how that goes. Yeah.
Or you're just wearing a slimming shirt. I can't tell.
Well, if you do a combination of both, it kind of makes you feel good.
That's true.
Yeah, I felt good about myself.
Is that a
today.
new shirt?
No,
You could just fit into that
This
again?
is a little bit older. This is probably like a couple months. No, I could always fit in.
A couple months is older for you?
Yeah, a couple months older shirt. No, not really. I've got shirts in my closet that are actually 30 years old.
Oh, okay.
I got one that I bought in Miami when I went there in Air Force, and it's my favorite snuggly shirt. You have like a favorite shirt?
Pajamas, yeah. And t-shirts that I wear as pajamas.
Oh,
They're usually like Christmas. I look like a homeless person.
Okay.
At home.
Okay, yeah. At home.
I'm surprised that my neighbors talk to me.
At home.
I'll wear like Christmas PJ pants and a t-shirt that says "Getting Lucky in Kentucky."
That's a good one.
With like my Cindy Lou striped, candy cane pants.
Yeah, that's good. And we're live today. This is great. We're live on Facebook. Facebook
is working.
Facebook's working. We're going to try this yesterday. So stick with us. Ask us questions. Ask Shannon anything. We have a bunch of viewers on right now.
All right.
So it's good. So ask us questions. What the hell happened to Facebook yesterday? We were supposed to go live yesterday and we had to cancel.
Well, I thought it was really funny, all the conspiracy theories that came out immediately. So, there was, the code has been deleted. So it's not just down, it's gone forever. We told you this was going to happen. And then, of course, all of the post 60-minute interview, the interview with the whistleblower, people thought that was connected. As if somehow that was going to hurt Facebook, right? Like cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. Facebook, not good. Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
We're done.
And, that's a whole different conversation for another show. The whole, they're a private company. Do we really expect them to put safety above profit? Because I don't.
Yeah, and they try, I guess. But I mean, I don't like some of the stuff they do, but it is what it is. I think my mother shut it down. I mean, she's on there.
You think she crashed the system?
A lot. Like she's probably on right now. Sandy crashed the system. Mom crashed the system. I know that she's quick on the trigger when it comes to comments, which is good. But she crashed it. I actually text her. I go, Mom, did you crash Facebook or what's up with that? I don't know, if she did or not. Diana, what happened? Keep your eyes on the comments too. I know.
Do we have a Diana cam?
We have a Diana cam.
Oh wait. Did we have?
We
sound?
have comments too. Oh, yay! She's on. She crashed it. My mother crashed it. I know she did. She crashed it. But,
so what did you think it was? Did you think it was Russia or China taking over?
No, I just thought that, the friggin' thing's up 99.9% of the time. This was the one time it was down, but it was for a long period of time. And, I was kind of just wondering if there's something wrong with my computer again. Or my internet.
I heard that cost him $7 billion.
Whoa. During just that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where that number came from or, where I saw that, but that's what's sticking in my head right now.
Yeah. Diana, what can we get a camera on you? I know you stayed at work late yesterday. You were giving me updates. What did it feel like when Facebook was down? Because you had a pretty concerned look on your face.
Yeah. At first I thought it was like a computer problem, but actually it's not. It was just down. And I was kind of upset because we're supposed to go live.
Did you miss me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. She knew I wasn't going to come in. But so first you thought that it was just you not figuring out the computer, and then you realized that it was Facebook going down.
Yeah. And it was Instagram as well.
And WhatsApp.
What's that?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're all owned by Facebook. But it really wasn't down for that long. And people still freaked out.
Oh, it was funny. Yeah. I think it was down for like 6 hours. I guarantee
6 hours? I think it was like an hour or something.
That was a long time. My mother told me that she called Verizon and she was like all about ready to whip up on them because her Facebook was down. So I don't know.
So she's going to call Verizon about that?
Yeah. She said she was going there today. I don't know if you got it fixed, but she said she was going to go there and give it to them. So
I'd like to see a video of that.
That guy at Verizon, yeah.
Mayor Bill used to say that people would call him and complain about Comcast.
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that.
So if your Comcast isn't working, just call Mayor Bill. We'll work it out.
No, that's good. And we have a great podcast. I haven't heard it yet. a great podcast between you and I that we did last week. It's going to be coming out probably tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. And we got it's going to be good.
It's on the war on drugs.
Yeah, war on drugs, a war between Tim and Shannon a little bit. No, we had a good time, but we
disagree on a couple things.
We got a little bit heated, but it was a fun.
I only had to hit you once.
Yeah, no, bam. But no, you got to listen to it. It's going to be out tomorrow. It's the law enforcement side against the criminal liberal side of marijuana.
At me trying to find a word.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get something thrown at me, but I got the sharp pencil.
It's the legacy side. Market.
Yeah. So yeah, the legacy market. So
well, and I haven't made it through yet, but I was listening to your podcast before that is out on gangs, which is really interesting. Yeah,
had John Scaduto, longtime gang guy. We've worked together for many years. We've talked together. Just a wonderful guy. So if you're listening to that one, have the gangs. And then I know your podcast, the SOB podcast, you can get on our website at www.studio239llc.com, or you can go to Podbeam and you can search for it real quick, real easy. And then it's we've got links to it on the Facebook page. So we have a lot of people that are following that. Yeah, there's our
there we go.
Our info
because
there.
Studio 239 produces my SOB podcast that I do with my son. People always ask what the connection is. What's the difference between 239 Uncensored and SOB?
Yeah, it's just we produce it. We work together.
So I contribute here. This is your thing, but SOB is my thing with my kid.
And you are good because it makes it a much better show with you here. So
with my feminine energy.
Yes. And we work together good on that. So did you realize there's another news story that I saw this week?
Here's a segue. It's coming.
The flowery, I guess that's what it is. But former police officer, military family now are growing medical marijuana. That's
cannabis.
That's kind of the thing. Okay, cannabis.
It's different.
Cannabis. I know you've been saying that, but I'm still trying to find out where marijuana is bad, but I'll start trying to change that. Ori Sivian and Donovan Garrison greet visitors at the security gate. They run the business and operations for Flowerly, respectively. Also part of the family business is Donovan's father, Stephen, who just happened to be sitting in the back office outside of the grow operation. And he, I believe, was a former law enforcement officer and military guy, similar to me.
Military and veterans do very well in the cannabis space because it's such a highly regulated industry. And so, as you know, as retired law enforcement, if you're ever really retired, that is you're used to that. You're used to really paying attention to the details and doing something a certain way and working with your coworkers in unison in that respect. And so veterans especially are very good in the cannabis industry. It's so highly regulated. It takes a certain personality type. And so law enforcement and military do really well.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where would be good procedure, policy, things like that, and
of course, there's the
read the instructions.
You read the instructions to know how to grow it. But of course, there's the other side too. That who has more PTSD than law enforcement and veterans, and so CBD and full spectrum cannabis with THC have been used for PTSD for a long time. So it's also something that they feel like they are growing the medicine for their brothers. They are controlling it. They're contributing. It's very healing for most of the veterans that I have worked with in cannabis to be able to be part of that process and feel like they're still helping their brother or sister.
It's definitely a major issue. The post-traumatic stress for military. Law enforcement is definitely there too.
I don't think it's talked about with military, or I'm sorry, with law enforcement, but it's just much. As extreme.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, a lot of folks get involved with alcoholism and things like that, and there's a lot of guys that get off shift and their normal routine is to go have drinks, right. and then it kind of gets into a roller coaster, and they don't have any way. So when they're at work, it's very high. You're going up, adrenaline's pumping. You get off work, it goes real low. And then eventually, a guy named Kevin Gilmartin, a super guy, PhD out in Scottsdale, Arizona, wrote a book. And basically it's telling law enforcement officers how they have to take care of themselves. Because if you don't have some sort of other activity besides drinking,
Mhm.
you're obviously going to get stuck in that roller coaster ride, and it'll take you down. It's not good. So I was always involved in like athletics, coaching, things like that, other activities besides
Mhm.
just my normal law enforcement job. So I felt pretty good about it. But it can take you down. I mean, you see some things that are not normal.
Right.
Military folks do it. We see it. There's a lot of professions, that we have, medical personnel,
They could all use
home
a little
warranty,
cannabis.
home warranty,
Sales.
warranty.
Very stressful.
Yes,
I had to
yes,
deal with
yeah.
realtors all day long.
Yeah. So that's good. I mean, well, it can be tough. So yeah, we had a pretty sad incident. We had Deputy Moyers got shot up in North Florida, Nassau County.
Yeah.
And real bad shootout there. And I think they ended up grabbing this guy I think they ended up getting him up in New York, I believe, where the final was. But it's getting pretty violent out there right now. I mean, I'm sure you've seen some of the
You
crimes
think
and
against law enforcement now?
Well,
they were talking about compared to, let's say, a year ago.
Well, I mean, I think it's more visible. I mean, you see a lot of it. We've had a lot of deaths, law enforcement shooting related deaths. I don't have the exact numbers, but I noticed that usually there's no confrontation. It's mostly like someone will step out of a car and start firing on an officer with absolutely no indication that that's going to happen. And I'm not saying that's usual, but it's because we do have thousands and thousands of contacts a day in law enforcement across the country. So if you scale it down, it's rather minimal as far as the violence, but it's just very aggressive, and it's getting all captured on video now with all the different technology we have.
Well, yeah, and if you are desperate enough to shoot at a cop, then you are probably going to get out of your car or whatever, just with the element of surprise. There's not going to be, in most cases, an escalation that ends with you shooting a cop.
Yeah, it's tragic, really.
What is that music? Do you hear music, or is that me? Is that just
we might
music
have
in my head? Do you hear that?
We might have. It might be from outside.
Oh, I'm always afraid that you're not hearing what I'm hearing.
We have like exercising folks on both sides of us. We have exercising people over there. We have exercising people over there. So yeah, you never know. Yeah, no,
I'll exercise my rights. So that's about it.
It's tragic. A little bit more to your story. If you look at, the little girl.
To my story.
Yeah, this would be a good one. This fits you well.
Are you trying to pass it over to me?
Yeah.
So I loved the story when I saw it because kids from like 2 to 6 are my favorite. It's really before the world gets to them, before their little preschool buddies screw them up and make them little assholes. They're just pure, and they just the thoughts that they put together. So I saw the video of this. I think we have a still photo. Do we have the still, Diana? Yeah, there we go.
Poor thing.
She was totally freaked out. Look at her face. Look at her face in the first still. So she thought that they watched Men in Black.
Right.
And then she saw the passport, which does look really kind of creepy. Yeah. And she was like, oh my God, my mother's an alien. So she was so afraid of her mom. And her mom said, what is the matter? She's like, you're an alien. And she really did think that. She was so afraid. And the mother somehow convinced her, no, that's just my passport. But how do you tell a little girl like that what a passport really is? Oh, that's so that I can travel around. That still sounds like an alien.
It still sounds like I'm going to another planet.
That sounds
possibly.
More right. That sounds more alien than non-alien.
Yeah, no, that's funny. It's funny how like the younger kids, we just all take it for granted. A passport, it's to travel. But if, like you said, when they're that young and sense. That naive, I guess it's great.
Right.
But obviously that picture was great. She was like freaking out.
And when you're that age, you watch Men in Black and you think that is real. You think that's reality.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that your mom would be an alien because now you're suspicious of everyone.
When you were a kid, what kind of shows did you watch? You like Star Trek and you like sci-fi? I wasn't ever a big sci-fi guy.
My brother loved sci-fi, so I did watch some of the movies. Like I loved the Beastmaster movie and Clash of the Titans, the original one, the cult classic. So I liked that stuff. I hung out with him and liked to at least act like I liked some of the sci-fi stuff so that we could bond, but couldn't get into Star Trek, was not a Trekkie. And I've told you the story about Harold Livingston, right? That wrote the Star Trek movie.
No.
The first. So
no.
Uncle Livingston, Uncle Harold Livingston, my uncle by marriage.
Yeah, right. Okay.
He's still alive in his 90s, and he wrote the original Star Trek movie.
Wow.
He used to write for TV, and so he wrote for Mission Impossible, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Twilight Zone, things like that. And then he wrote the first movie. And interesting story. I know I go off on tangents, but this one is worth it.
It's good.
So he said that one day he got a call from a senior porn star, because they have these porn stars that are in their 50s, 60s, whatever.
Now I want to be Trekkies now.
So she was a Trekkie.
Oh, okay.
And she called him and she said, "Are you the Harold Livingston that wrote the Star Trek movie?" And he said, "Yes, I am." And she said, "Okay, give me your address. I'm going to come over and have relations with you." And he said, "Okay, I'm, 80 something years old, and you better bring some Viagra and, like a good attitude." And so she said, "Okay." So she came over and had a nice time with him, then said goodbye. And then he said that he called her, a few days later or weeks later or whatever, and invited her over again. And she offered him a price, and he said no. He said the first time was free. And she's like, "Yeah, the first time was for me. The second time would be for you, and that would be this amount." So he said, but it was good when it lasted.
Yeah.
Right? Being in your 80s
Good
and
for
having
him.
some porn star just call you and be like, "Hey, I'm going to come over and touch you. Where do you pee?"
Where do you go? Can you do it? Can you do it? Like, that's the best I can do. I can't do I can't do two of them.
No,
like,
I can't. I have arthritis in my hands. Not
I
two.
can
Maybe
do,
when I was
I
a
can
kid.
do like the one.
I
That's
can
it.
do like raccoon eyes.
Okay, yeah, I can't get that. Roll up your lids, all that stuff. No, it's the best I can get out of it. I never could do that. But no, when we were younger, my dad used to watch a little bit of it, but
Of Star Trek?
but it was really like one of those shows that was just on it. Because if you're younger than I am.
I'm 48.
Yes, you are younger than me. But when I was a kid, we had 3 channels, and we had
and WGN.
Yeah, we had WGN's Chicago though, right?
Yeah.
So
but it still came through. You
but
didn't
not
have that?
no, we didn't get that. We had 3
Oh.
channels: NBC, CBS, ABC, and then we had the university channel, that what PBS, yeah. And that was it. And you actually had to get your ass out of the chair and like twist the knob.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes you had to stand there with your hand on the TV so that reception would be good for your parents. You'd be like, "I want to go outside and play." And they said, "No, not until the commercial. Just stand there."
we definitely had aluminum foil
on the rabbit ears.
On the rabbit ears. I ain't
and the big console TVs. It was 6 feet of wood and like 2 feet of TV.
Yeah, yeah. You can get, like, I went the other day and got an HD antenna, and I hooked up to my TV, and it comes in great. It's unbelievable. You don't even need HBO anymore. Or you don't even need cable anymore.
Yeah, well, everybody's streaming now anyway.
Yeah, no, it's good. So you were not. What was probably your all-time favorite movie?
All-time favorite movie?
Yeah. Okay, so there's different categories, but for like a fun one,
I love the classics, and I love the Philadelphia Story.
Okay.
With Cary Grant and
That's
Jimmy Stewart.
Way in the day,
yeah. Katharine Hepburn.
I like Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
That's good.
Animal House.
I think, modern movies, I really love. Forrest Gump is one that I can watch over and over.
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption. There are quite a few that are just great movies and that's really what I think a great movie is when you can watch it 20, 30 times and really still enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're right, though. I a lot of times that happens to me. I'll be going through the channels, and no matter what with Forrest Gump is
you stop and at least watch part of it.
And I've watched it probably full all the way through, maybe 8 or 9 times, but I've watched segments of it. And I go, yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot he did this, So it's kind of fun. It's good times. So right now on these social media kids, right? So there's a bunch of TikTokers. I'm getting pretty famous on there. I think I have maybe
You're getting famous.
I might have 100 followers. I'm moving up. So the TikTok is kind of fun, but some of these kids are doing some things that are a little bit crazy on here. This one kid, he's being charged with manslaughter for accidentally killing his high school friend with a firearm. So I don't know if they were playing with the gun or what happened with the gun, but people are pretty pissed off because he's still posting videos on TikTok doing his thing.
And it is probably in poor taste. Not that you shouldn't be able to live your life while going through the trial process, but because that's what happens. But you don't want to publicize that. either. You know, it was like during the pandemic, people going out and getting their lips done or something and putting that out when other people couldn't eat and couldn't go out anywhere. It's just poor taste.
Yeah, no, it definitely interesting that he can get away with that. I hear the music too, but it's probably coming through.
As long as you're hearing it too, then I'm
you're
good.
not losing your mind. I'm gonna
it's
shut it
it's
down.
not just me.
Yeah.
Can we see that picture again, Diana? Of the, I don't even know what he's famous for, but, or maybe that's a she. Is that a she? That's a she.
Well, no, remember,
if
you remember right.
Oh, no,
he's
non-binary.
non-binary.
That's right.
So non-binary, which
I know. My 48-year-old brain still wants to categorize people into male and female, although that's not really necessary.
That's real.
So they don't identify. But, you know, that's very smart for TikTok because now they have a wider audience. Whether you like male or female stars, that's for you. Maybe.
Yeah, I understand it, but I get to the point sometimes they're like, listen, all right, it's a guy, it's a girl. It's, you know, it doesn't, I guess if somebody wants to be on their own in the middle, I guess they need a spot too. But
I think it's only your business if you're going to touch it. You know, if you're going to touch them where they pee, then you probably need some directions.
What do you think about going into like, you know, the girls' bathrooms, the guys going in the girls'
having
bathrooms?
Unisex bathrooms?
Yeah. Unisex bathrooms are not a big deal, but I think the ones I've seen though is like either boy or girl can go in, but not at the same time. Have you seen them where anybody can go in whenever they want?
Yeah, clubs have had them for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, you've never been in a bar that had a co-ed bathroom?
No. Usually it says unisex, but
they usually turn into co-ed after like midnight anyway.
I don't know where you're hanging out. We're in Naples. We're in Naples.
No, so I don't think that there are people that are going to dress up as women to go into a bathroom to assault people. I don't think that that's a likely story. I think that is something that, you know, was passed around just to scare people. There's no way to enforce it. Nobody's going to be in there looking at genitalia to make sure that everybody matches whatever they think it needs to match, and you're really not in there that long. I don't care what you're doing, as you know, unless it's noisy and stinky, and then I'm gonna get out.
Me personally, I go in there for one thing.
You're not in there for that long.
Get your business done and get the hell out.
But you know, also it just is a matter of safety. I don't know if men think this way, but I don't go into a bathroom, let's say at a mall down a hallway where there's no one else in the women's restroom. That to me makes me feel vulnerable, and I will not do that. I would rather go in a more public place or go into one of the stores where it has more people or something like that. So I am cognizant of going into a restroom, any restroom, alone if it's isolated.
Oh, it's nothing better for me to go in the restroom by myself.
That's what you want. I know.
I need freedom. It's the only quiet I get during the day, so it's a good thing. But no, it's interesting. Speaking of Naples, so we live in the 239 Fort Myers, Naples area. There's some crazy stuff going on. And I saw this car the other day. I saw it on social media, and I think we'll give a shout out to Only in Naples, I believe, right? So this Mini Cooper, and you've probably seen
do we have a picture, Diana?
Yeah, I think we do.
No.
On this one we don't. So there's a Mini Cooper driving down the road on I-75.
Mm-hmm.
This lady has a couch, right?
Yeah.
So it's a big couch. She's got the convertible top down. She's holding it. I think it was a lady. She's holding it, and she's got it with one arm, and she's driving with the other, and she's driving down, I think it was I-75 or a major roadway.
Yeah.
Have you ever done something silly?
I was just going to say, I feel like that's something that I would definitely do. Maybe not now, but 20 years ago, 25 years ago, you don't have money. Someone gives you a couch.
I've done it.
You don't have a truck, right? You're like, I'm just going to work it out.
I did a mattress that way. I did
Everybody
a mattress.
has done that at some point.
Diane
so shaming this woman is not necessary. Let's just let her have her stupid moment and go.
So we were driving down the road. This guy had like a pole. Like it was probably about 15 feet, right? So he had a pole that went from the front right passenger side to the left driver's side window, and he had two little orange tags on the end, and this thing was like hanging out on both sides, like probably like 3.5 feet. So realistically, if somebody would have smashed into him, the pole would have spun, took his head off, and he would have been driving down the road for
what about the people
crazy.
That put their Christmas tree on top of the car and then they rope it all up, and then they realize they can't open the door.
I've seen that before. Yeah,
I love going to places where they do that.
We got to figure that out. But yeah, did you, when you were young, did you ever go out and get your own trees, or
no, not until I had my own house. We always had fake trees, and then when Joe was a kid, and it was my own house, I insisted on a real tree. And then that was such a pain in the ass. And Joe always picked the biggest tree. You know, we had these little shitty rental houses with tiny living rooms, and really half of the living room would be a Christmas tree. And it would make him so happy. It was like
it's a good mom.
I mean, really, it was like, it looked totally ridiculous, but half of the room was tree. And so that was a big deal. He did the same thing with the turkeys. I would let him pick out the Thanksgiving turkey. But he didn't do it on like how it looked. He would take them and see which one rolled the best.
Oh, geez.
Down the aisle of the grocery store.
Now that goes.
So we were like bowling, like rolling these things.
People are like, yeah, there's mom.
Yeah.
Good job, mom.
Right. Like, oh, thanks for putting all the turkeys on the dirty ground. I'm like, this makes my kid happy. Just let him roll the turkeys.
Now, when you see a kid going ape shit in a grocery store, have you ever say anything to them? I usually make faces at them. It's kind of fun.
If they're disrespectful to their parents, then I don't like that. But that's the parent that allows that. If the kid is just crying or having a fit, and you can tell that the parent just wants to get their food and get the hell out of there, then I kind of give them a like, I'm with you. Like I've been there. It's okay.
Don't worry about it.
Like
kid.
It's all right.
So we flew back from New York on Sunday afternoon. So we're flying back, and this lady was in the plane. She's moving. Of course, she's New York. She's moving to Florida. I'm bringing it. She's got her grandmother, who's in her 80s. She's probably about my age, in her 20s. She's my age.
Terrible.
Yeah. So she's beside me, and she's got a little schnauzer or some little dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she pushed that thing underneath the seat, and then it started screaming like it was a baby. It sounded just like a kid. So of course everybody's looking back at me, and I'm like, it's the thing underneath the chair.
They thought you were making those noises.
Yeah, I mean, it was like terrible. I was like, I felt bad for the lady, but I was like, please, it's not me.
But they don't let you take your little dog out, and I don't like those rules.
She took it out for a couple minutes.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. And then you always have the asshole on the plane. It's like, that dog is out. Why does it matter? Let the dog out.
Yeah, I think the lady said, listen, you can let it get out, and had a little pamper on it. And I was like, fudge, this is going to be a great flight back. I put my earphones in.
But the dog had to have been better than a baby.
No, it wasn't really. No,
I've had crying babies.
It was fine. It was fine. Yeah, the babies. Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I'm the type of guy, just give me some headsets. Let me just do my thing. Leave me alone. And I used to talk on the plane.
Dad, so I mean, you've been through it.
I used to talk on the plane to people next to me. Now I'm not so much.
I know. I used to be really social too, and now I'm like, I have a book. Don't you see my book?
Yeah, leave me alone. You know where I'm going. I'm going to the same place you are.
Earbuds, even though you're not listening to anything, you're like, earbuds. I have these.
I'm going to the same place you are. Don't ask me anything else. No, it's.
But it's also sometimes fun to lie. Like when you travel, do you make up a fake name and a fake job?
No, I don't do that. That's a good idea, though.
That can start on the plane.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but I mean,
I like to say that I'm a hamster breeder, or that made Diana laugh a little bit. There are all kinds of things, and then people just really look at you, and you go all different types of places with it. That's the only information I give them now, not real information.
Well. Yeah, and I'm sure with you and your hamster breeding, you come up with the same stories as your dope stuff. I mean, your cannabis stuff.
So the last time I was actually checking out at Publix, and I was buying like 10 or 20 of these little yogurt parfait things. And it was for a class, a home warranty class, where I was doing like a breakfast, lunch and learn, but for breakfast. And so this lady says, wow, those parfaits must be really good. And I said, oh, I don't know. I've never had one. And then, of course, she looks at me like, well, why are you buying all these? And I said, well, I'm a hamster breeder. And I've found out that the hamsters really like this, that yogurt is kind of an aphrodisiac for them. And then, the granola is like good. And I said, you give them a little yogurt and some Berry White, you're making some money. she just looked at me. She had no idea if I was serious or not.
I love that when you just throw people off for a loop.
Yeah. Hamster aphrodisiac.
Oh, God.
With a little mood music.
Yeah. So and I always like, if it's on my time and I got a little free time to talk to somebody, like those people who call me on the phone and ask me if I want to buy something, I'll kind of like put them through a little workout.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of like start bothering them and start asking them questions. Have you ever done anything like that? Silly?
Well, I've done telemarketing. It's a tough job.
It is.
And I was terrible at it. But yeah, I think that they expect that now. And I try to be nice to them instead of just hanging
nice.
up. I say,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
But sometimes you do go into a situation where like it's the wrong time. You're not in a good mood.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just don't feel like dealing with you right now. But they got a job to do. I get it.
Yeah, but the ones that just talk over you and like they want to lead you into that yes answer. They've had that training so much. That irritates me. I'll mess with them.
Like a podcast that I'm on.
A podcast that you're on.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm just kidding.
If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen.
That's true. But poor Joe. Anyway, so
poor Joe. He's extra manly because I raised him. He had to be tough.
Joe's one of my favorites. I like
and
him.
he's very diplomatic.
And he handles you well.
He absolutely
really like
does.
Yeah,
it's hard to be respectful.
You got to listen to the SOB podcast and listen to these guys. It's funny. So you probably heard about this guy who was involved in some heinous crimes.
Oh my
before,
goodness.
But he's in Polk County, which is, if you know Grady Judd, Sheriff Grady Judd,
doesn't play.
He don't play up there, right? He'll tell you about your ass in a quick minute.
Throw your ass in jail for cannabis.
Exactly. For a long time.
Smoke through that whole county.
And for a long time, and he throws away his keys, whatever you got to do. But this guy got in a fight with his coworkers at work. There was some shit that was stirred up, and I think about it. Within 24 hours, he was at their house, like in a big, huge melee. Ended up killing 3 people. A couple people got away. This guy, I mean,
he looks pretty normal.
Yeah, would you
right?
Would you have a drink with him at the bar?
Yeah, I think
pretty normal guy, right?
If he was paying, sure. And it says not only did he beat this guy to death, but the guy was asleep. Beat the guy to death when he was asleep. So again, you're not talking about a normal, a bar brawl gone wrong or whatever. This was a very disturbed individual. And then when I was listening to his rap sheet of all the stuff that you name it, and it's on his rap sheet from before.
What could have the argument could have possibly been that would outrage you so bad that you go and do this 24 hours later? We all know that at the time, I want to kick your ass. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. At the time, you got a little bit of passion, but over like usually within an hour, you're like, that guy's just an idiot. Why am I fighting with him anyway? But to go back, it's going to be interesting to know exactly what happened.
You see that in romantic relationships, right? Like the guy will stew over the rejection and then go back, to shoot like 24 hours later or whatever. Or sometimes also you've seen it in, let's say a man hits on another man and that man is so offended and embarrassed. And again, he stews on that for, 24 hours and then goes back after the person. So, maybe it was that type of a situation. Maybe the guy said something to him. And clearly, this guy does not have conflict resolution skills.
We call it. He needs to go to anger management.
Yeah. So he was probably fixated on being disrespected, and then once he got loaded enough, he went and did what he did.
Yeah, it's terrible. Well, and that brings up to the point where we've discussed in other lives that what's going on with this Brian Laundrie and Gabby
and the bounty hunter.
Bounty hunter, he's on him, man. What's up with that? Do you still think? This guy claims that he saw him this weekend.
I don't know. I think he's been gone for a long time, probably not even on the trail. Everybody thinks that he would be on a trail, so maybe he's in New York City. Maybe he's like in the heart of, maybe he's on Broadway. I don't know. He's got to be somewhere that we're not looking for him. He doesn't have a lot of resources.
I think the case is so high profile. Everybody's seen the picture of him or kind of thinks they've seen a picture of him. So people are seeing things in a way.
He also has that look that kind of looks like every other guy with short hair that's tall and
it's
skinny,
balding,
right? Like he does. He has a very kind of generic look to
I'm just
him.
thinking at this point, I think he did himself in. I still hold to that, but I don't know for sure.
You don't think they would have at least found his backpack or whatever?
It depends on how he did it,
And why wouldn't he just do that somewhere where his family would at least have the body?
Because he probably wants people to be doing what they're doing now.
and just wasting resources
Yeah,
looking for him.
extreme amount of resources.
What
on
would
this
you
guy.
do to him if you found him?
Oh, if I got him,
I wouldn't turn him in right away. Right? Be like a cat with a little mouse and just like play with him for
especially
a little
those
bit.
poor guys up in Charlotte County. They were out in that
Oh my
swamp for
gosh.
diving.
Yes.
And it's like
And people don't understand, how
100
bad it is out
degrees,
there.
mosquitoes.
Right.
Brother, I would probably,
Snakes.
I'd be like, hey, you guys, I'll be back with this guy in a minute. The chief wants to take him for a drive.
Yeah. Where are those drones? Let's get more of those drones out here.
Yeah, because I've been involved in pursuits, right? So I've chased people. I've done a lot of that. And at the very end, you have all you can do, and people don't understand it, to restrain yourself. And that's where a lot of police officers get in trouble, because at the end,
so much adrenaline.
they go for a little kick or they punch him in the head, and it's just stupid. Like it's almost like when you're a rodeo cowboy, right? So you're on your horse and you get the calf and you rope him up and you get him tied up. You kind of put your hands up and you're like, all right, I got him. It's over. That's what you got to do, because the frustration is incredible. And they say stuff to you. All these criminals say something to you.
So are you saying that if we hogtied criminals like rodeos,
We probably need to.
and we like maybe timed cops and gave them a prize, like if it was under 8 seconds, like the rodeo, and they were like, hands up, done.
Hands
and
up,
so
done.
they could like show,
Yeah.
like the criminal's been hogtied, hands up, done. And then they like get a bonus.
A lot less.
Could we
problems.
integrate that into the training in Florida?
Yes,
do you think?
we could.
And really set that example for the rest of the country.
I think it would help, because I will tell you this though.
Rodeo clowns also.
Anybody who's worked with me,
backup.
will know this. That once the guy's cuffed up, we got him. It's over, right? It's game over. Like when I'm there, it's like, listen, we got him. They're gonna say stuff to you. They're gonna do things. It's frustrating. You still have to watch your officer safety, but it's game over. That's what's gotten a lot of our police officers in trouble. It happened over the summer, right? So because they get adrenaline and it's dumped and they are not thinking straight and they go the extra mile and do extracurricular activities, which,
and I've never really thought about it from that point of view, because for the layperson, all we think is, you're just so high on your authority that you have to kick this person when they're in handcuffs. But yes, of course, it makes sense that you're frustrated, you're amped up, you've been through it with this person, you finally have them, and you don't know what to do with all of that energy and adrenaline.
Yeah, and you've done everything you can to get there and get this guy. And, but
so
it is
hog tying like a rodeo. Bring a couple rodeo clowns to
be
lighten
safe.
the mood.
Yeah, exactly. It's always good, because usually the helicopter's flying over you or somebody's around. You're like, all right, rodeo clown, come in, get this guy.
Wouldn't that be great with the barrel?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So to wrap it up, I got to ask. This is a little ask Shannon question.
Okay.
Easy one though. What brings you joy, Shannon, other than what we already know?
Yeah. So what brings me joy really are the little things in life. And so it's things like, when my son tells a joke that makes me laugh and I know I shouldn't encourage him, but I continue to laugh. Or when my dog does something funny, like those just in the moment little bursts of joy, that to me, like I would look for those things. That's what keeps me going.
That's good though.
Right?
Yeah. And I'm sure you're a type of person that you like to surround yourself with fun people, right?
Yeah, they don't have to really be fun, but just not negative.
Yeah.
You have to have a good attitude.
It does suck
oh
the
my
energy
gosh,
out of
yes,
you. Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
And we've all had problems, and I've had more problems than most people, and I still have a good attitude. So I don't want to hear about how tough your life is because you couldn't find your wine at Publix. That's ridiculous.
I don't know if you want to hit me with one.
I do. I want to hit you. So if you could follow someone around for a day, who would you follow around and why?
This is an easy one for me. This
think you
week.
pre-selected it.
Well, yeah, no, but you could have picked another one. But
I like this one. Who would you follow around?
Without a doubt, this week, especially Tom Brady.
Why?
Tom Brady to me is like, did you see him the other night?
No.
Classy guy, classy man. He was classy.
I try to dislike him and I can't. I agree with you.
So Tom Brady, I just like to see first off is because if you saw Tom Brady, I saw a series of pictures of him, and I think it was on Facebook or something, and you saw him when he came out of college. He looked like he was 50, And I just saw him in his last picture.
Flabby, right?
Yeah.
He was not in great
Yeah,
shape. Didn't take it seriously.
Yeah, right. He looked like, he didn't take it serious. I looked at him when he was 40, is he 44 now or whatever he is, 43, 44. He looked better than when he was in college.
Yeah. But, I think I look better than, maybe not all of my body parts, but I do think that I look better overall, maybe than when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Some of us are late bloomers.
Yeah. But Tom Brady would be so fun to follow around, just see, okay, what's he do when he gets up? Where does he go? And plus, I wouldn't mind hanging around with him all day so I can see, his wife's a model. So that'd be kind of cool.
You think she has model friends come over and they just sit on the couch in their lingerie?
I think Tom's so cool. He probably sits here with, some fruit, a couple nuts, and these girls just model for him.
Right.
I think that'd be cool. And he's got his football in his hand like he's the,
Sounds realistic.
Cool quarterback.
She's not screaming at him to take out the trash.
No, take out the trash. Whoever's downstairs is supposed to do that. So they're taking out the trash. So following him through the day, see what his routine is. It would be awesome. I think it would be cool.
Well, I think any celebrity is fun to follow around because you always wonder how did you get here and what are you doing with your money and your time? What is your typical day?
Yeah. And I think there's some celebrities more so than others, because I think a celebrity like Tom Brady, I think he has to work on his craft. I don't think Kim Kardashian really has to work on, making her ass, 2 inches bigger. I don't know what the fuck Kim Kardashian does.
There's a lot of treatments that she has.
Yeah, but I'm give me a freaking break. Jesus.
But she has an audience. It's not her fault that people want to watch.
But no, you're right.
We like pretty people. We don't like people of substance anymore.
Well, Tom Brady's got it all. He's pretty, right?
I don't know. He's not
football
my type.
player.
I like old fat Italian.
Yeah, well,
So
I'm working on it.
He's not any of those things.
But I think that would be a good one. I think that would be fun to follow him around.
If you had an adult Make-A-Wish, what would it be?
Adult Make-A-Wish would definitely be, I think it would probably something to do other than going to space and having an opportunity for that. I think that'd be cool.
You would go to space?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'd go to space. I'd jump on that shuttle. It'd be fun. But other than that, I'd probably like a day, like a Sunday football Super Bowl day with Tom Brady would be cool, because he's been there again. He's probably gonna go again this year.
No, he's not, unless it's against
Patrick
the
Mahomes.
Chiefs.
I do like him.
He's such a good kid.
I have a hard time.
And he doesn't even have to look when he passes. The no look pass. That's incredible.
Is it wrong? Yeah, he is good. Is it wrong that I don't want the Chiefs to win on Sunday because of you and a couple other friends? I have to hear them. Rich.
Well,
I'm sure they're probably saying the same thing about me.
You have to consider, though, the Chiefs have not been in the limelight for that long. We have worked really hard, and just in addition to playing good football, they're a great team.
No, they are good.
They're gentlemen.
They got a great player and two players. They're good. No, but they are good.
And Big Red, he's just a great guy. We like him.
Great.
Did you see the picture of the baby? Have you ever seen the baby with the Halloween costume that looks like Andy Reid? Looks exactly like him. He's got the fake mustache on,
I gotta see it.
And the big round face, and then the little the earpiece that comes out.
I have seen it. That was from last year, right?
It was from a few years ago. But that's what I think of every time I hear Andy Reid's name. I think about that baby.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know if you saw him this year, but he had been wearing that big shield. He's walking around with that big shield.
Yeah, and it fogged up the first time. They're like, we got to take care of Big Red. Can't see anything.
He's good. He's good. Very well respected. All right. Well, that's good. We're gonna have a live. This week's gonna be tough. You can jump
traveling
on.
More.
Yeah, traveling. And then I am back. I'm back. Going up to check out some leaves up in Maine. We're having our
nice.
High school. They're having a high school homecoming thing.
Are you gonna see Sandy?
The new field. I'm gonna see Mom. I'm gonna go by and see her. We have a little place, a little cabin on the lake, so that's gonna be fun to check that out too.
It's gonna be a beautiful time.
A lot of lobster and chowder
and leaves.
Chowder and leaves. Yeah, you never really, when you live there, you don't give two shits about leaves. It's just something you gotta rake up. No, when you're I left when I was 19. I went in the military. 18, 19. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've always loved fall, and just the smell of the burning leaves too.
Yeah.
Not just the way that it looks.
It's a good time.
And it's sweater weather.
Yeah, sweater weather. And you can smell the burning. Oh, it's great.
It's good. S'mores.
Yeah. But we are 239 uncensored. Everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we can probably check us all out. Do you anything to throw in there? Any big
No,
plans?
when are we coming back?
Let's do
a week or so?
Yeah, let's do a week. We'll be cranked up on Wednesday. Is that too long?
Yeah, they could listen to all of our podcasts.
Yeah, podcast. SOB podcast.
And the 239 Uncensored.
239 Uncensored. We're having a lot of fun. we just really enjoy it. That's it. It's
I'm
good.
having a great time.
Yeah, we're having a great time.
But it's
and,
over now.
And 239 uncensored, everything Southwest Florida and beyond, and we are
out.
burning it.